content.
You're someone who's supposed to be a follower of the Torah.
Yeah.
It's alarming to me when you say these things when I know they're explicitly mentioned within your book.
So we can talk about that next week. But the only thing, there are plenty of hadith here which I'm reading, which talk about a woman seeking permission from her husband. And there are actually hadiths saying that you shouldn't prevent her from going out to the masjid. So if she wants to go to the masjid, you should always grant her permission to go.
Right.
Now,
So
if you didn't have autonomy over whether she could leave or not leave, why would the Prophet have to explicitly state that if she wants to go pray salat at the masjid, then you have to go let her?
Because they would prevent their women from going to the masjid.
Because they have control over whether...
No, not because they have
You
not
don't
because
understand
they
the
have
value of
control.
women in Islam.
Because they would prevent.
It's all modesty, it's covered by all that.
You've mentioned one hadith which actually goes against what you're saying, which the Prophet is saying, don't prevent your women.
Do not prevent the female slaves of Allah from going to the masjids, and their homes are better for them. Their homes are better
for them is an idraj, which is da'if again.
No, it's all hadith. Sorry, don't say that again.
Their homes are better for them is an extension to that hadith, which is da'if, is it?
What's da'if mean?
Da'if means weak. Or inauthentic.
So these are inauthentic.
Wait, listen, no. The first,
I think it was Bukhari.
The first part, look, the first part is sahih. So you will find the first part in all the collections, and then in one part you find, and their houses are better for them. It's idraj and it's da'if as well. These are the things.
When one's wife, this is Bukhari again, when one's wife asks permission to go out, in that, now it's in brackets, so it doesn't actually say this, to go to the masjid or for any other reason, such as attending the Eid or visiting a sick person, he should not prevent her. But there are all these laws saying in the context of when you should grant permission, therefore the inverse...
No, it's saying do not prevent, not grant permission, do not prevent them.
For these specific tasks.
Do not infringe upon them.
But if she wants to just go out, the man has the say whether she can or not. Because she's commanded to obey her husband, which is Quran. We can go to the Quran, which explicitly states you obey your husband. So if your husband says you can't go out, unless it's to go to the masjid, or in this hadith where it's saying to visit the sick.
This is your own fiqh, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said.
This is your own jurisprudence.
Please understand.
I'm saying to you, show us, where, if clearly you would be able to find, many reports where Aisha and the wives of the Prophet came to him and sought his permission before leaving the house. But we have many hadith of Aisha interacting with Muslims outside of talking to the messenger, right? Where there's no request for permission. We have many women outside of the home.
Okay, let's ask me a really simple question, and just to understand your understanding of Islam. If you're existing in a perfect Islamic state, not the so-called Islamic state, but a perfect Islamic state where you have a caliph and it's all peachy, and a woman wants to leave the home, and the husband says no, and the husband says you can't, is the woman able to leave the house?
If the man says you cannot leave the house, on what basis?
He says that he doesn't want you going out because there's lots of men in the market, and I don't want you going to the market.
You know what? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I can't answer that question either. I'm not sure about that.
All right, now that one, guys, I'm going to go. It's been a pleasure.
Hold on, George.
We'll walk and talk, because I'm going to really let my wife.
All right,
I'm not sure about that. Because it would depend on whether... I don't even know.
But the question would be why the husband
we're not knowledgeable enough.
I wanted to ask
like
you,
I said in the
because
beginning.
my
starting point was, and that's the thing I don't understand, and that's the thing why I think the Sharia isn't fair. Is can a woman become a caliph or caliph, and she can't? That was what you or guys over here told me, and that's why I'm thinking.
She can be many other things.
No, but it's not about what we can be.
It's the only thing she can't be.
The thing is, we're not trying. Our idea is not feminism. It's not feminism. Our whole ideology is not based on feminism.
Can I be a mother?
No,
can I be a mother?
That's something about biology and not something about
the biological laws are determined by, in my opinion, by the Creator. The same way the Islamic laws are also determined by the Creator. Men have roles, women have roles. Let's stop conflating and saying, oh, why can't women do everything men can do? Why can't men? We can't.
The problem with today's society is women want to be man.
We are biological ability.
Is she Israeli? Is she Israeli? Are you Jewish, babes?
Huh?
Are you Jewish?
No.
Are you Christian?
Why I feel like the feminist movement makes the woman man and man like a woman. That's how I feel like the third wave movement. It's mostly like that. I'll be honest. taking roles of
I
man.
was just
There's-
bringing up the point because
I hear you.
I mean, you guys are discussing all the topics and you're discussing it of a really manly point of view, and I think that yeah.
What's manly about it?
Do
What
you think a
makes it
woman
manly?
actually wants to lead the Khalifa? Like, why would you want to do such a job, such a burden?
Well, there's women that trying to lead Salah now, isn't it?
Yeah, like why? Huh?
Why would you like to do
No,
that?
but most like
Leadership in Islam is something
it's
that
a
people
burden.
are not even supposed to vie for anyway.
King James.
Yeah.
Men
Real
or
one.
women. Yeah.
But the black King
Prophet
James.
spoke
Yeah,
about
you see Afro.
not giving the leadership to people who vie for it.
King James, the real one.
I mean, I don't know about leadership in Islam, but I just
Hey,
know
you
one
ever see the real
thing.
King James, I think,
In my point of view, leadership should be possible for anyone, beside his gender, beside his sexes. And if it's not possible for women to become the same leader position
That's
as men
human
in
thinking.
Islam,
I mean,
then I think it's not fair.
So
it's gonna differ.
So
man.
okay. So then, the question would be: should, if leadership should be extended to women, should the other things that apply to men also be extended to women as well?
I think woman and man should have the
Okay.
equal
Everything,
rights.
Cool.
Equity.
The
So
same
when my wife's
opportunity.
pregnant and she gets maternity leave, I should also get maternity leave too and get paid.
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
When my wife gets pregnant
Yeah.
and she has a baby and she goes on maternity leave, yeah, why is that courtesy not also extended to myself? Why can't I go on?
It is in the UK.
No, you get paternity 2 weeks. Yeah. Then I got
Okay,
2 weeks.
I don't know about the laws in the UK. I'm from Germany. In Germany, I know man and woman can get the same time of free time to childcare.
So how long is it for the women?
It's exactly the same.
How long do they get?
I know there is a kind of motherhood time or time to kind of regenerate and.
Is it okay? I guess my point is: is there
in
anything
Germany
that
it's
men
called
and women should be
Elternzeit,
different in?
it's parent time, and that's equally given to men and women if they want.
Right. Okay. My point is, should men and women be the same or have the same expectations in all things?
Women and men are not the same, but they should have the same rights and the same opportunities.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, when you say the same rights, yeah, no, there is.
What's
Because
that?
when you start look, like I'm saying, there's a reason why a woman is afforded 9 months or 12 months or whatever maternity. Because
you mean like that?
I'm
Yeah,
saying
sorry,
generally
sorry. I was
speaking,
talking
we
about
have
morally. Yeah, go
because of our genetics and other things that we're predisposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
There are different rules for the sexes.
Yeah, I
if you
agree with
start
that.
trying to merge and blur the lines, yeah.
But you're talking
I understand
about
what you're
then
saying.
it does-
I understand what you're
different
saying.
things. You're talking about things that because of the sex. So because while
I'm not talking about no different things. I'm saying, I'm saying
I'm talking about a more point of view of gender. So
the sex and you're separating
Well, the
sex
thing
and
is,
gender.
Islam liberated
How?
Muslim women
there's
anyways. There were no
biologically
rights
a
given to
difference
women
between
anyways.
us.
Yeah,
You
But
can have
I'm
your own
talking
property,
about
you can have your own...
about gender and about the difference between us because we are having a different gender, and I think that there should be no different laws and different. Sorry, my English is not
Different
that
legislation regarding. Yeah, you
So
mean there should
I-
be different laws pertaining to male
No,
and
no,
female?
I think we should have the same laws and the same opportunities.
Right,
As
okay.
Man and a woman.
Oh, same laws, the same.
And
Well, it's
I
very
mean,
difficult to
that's a-
answer, you know that.
I just think, look, like I've said, the reason why I go to
can have your
birth is
I
because
was
you
teach
can quite see a
Catholic,
clear
so
genetic.
officially, I'm a Catholic,
Okay.
and I was teach like that.
Yeah.
But one reason why I'm not a Catholic anymore is because I couldn't become a priest. In Catholic Church, only man can become a priest. Why I should be in a kind of church where I
Let me ask
can't
you.
become this, can't get the same positions as a man.
Do you still believe in God?
I don't know.
Okay. So then, forget all of that Catholic stuff then, because you're not even sure about whether the person who wrote the Bible that you believe or you did believe in was God or not.
It's an institutional thing. You're right, yeah. But I think it's still an important thing.
Right. I was just going to go down the line of, look, if it was something that was important, I'm sure Jesus would have spoken it and advocated for it. I'm sure the prophets before him would have spoken on it and advocated for it. Yeah, but because they didn't, yeah, I see no issue with following the same sunnah, the same footsteps that they had before. Men were appointed for those roles, for the position of kingship, for the position of priesthood, and for the position of prophethood. That's the sunnah of Allah. That's the way of Allah. It's been since the start of mankind, according to the Abrahamic faiths, up until now.
Yeah, but that is because women were all the time suppressed. They
can't say women were all the time suppressed. That's not
education
Yes,
the same
look,
way
you
as
can't
men
say
could
they
get.
You can't
They
say-
didn't
you can't say women
know
all
what
the
you
time
also-
were suppressed. Wait, because
in history.
in history, what history? In your recorded history? Can you speak for the whole world? Sorry. Can you say that women in Africa were oppressed? Women in South America
No,
were
I
oppressed?
can't-
You
can't
can't.
talk about
So then,
that.
right. So then we can't say women were oppressed, and this is the reason why they couldn't go forward. We can't even say that in the Judaic societies that women were oppressed. That's why they
True
couldn't move
Judaic
forward.
society.
We can't. Yeah.
Not the-
We can't say that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can say in recent Western Christian society, maybe, we can see the clear examples. But that doesn't mean that everything that men do, women should also do as well. Like, it's just,
They
they're
should have
genetically
the
speaking.
opportunities. I'm not speaking about
Yeah.
that women should do all the same thing that men do, because I think men often do stuff I don't want to do because it's
Okay.
wrong. But
But they should still have the
have
opportunity
the
to do that.
opportunity to do it.
I don't know. I
That's the
can't even fight with that.
What
that mentality.
opportunity harms you? Because you've conceded that men and women are different, aren't you? Haven't you? You've conceded that they're different. So surely then there are certain things that women shouldn't do. For instance, maybe on a battlefield, or I mean, I'm not saying that women can't do that, but I would say that there are certain things to protect the woman that there should be rules in place to not get her to do that.
And I think-
And you've conceded that we're different. So surely it's to say we all should be equal and have equal opportunities may lead women down the wrong path.
I think that's. Sorry, my English is.
You think that's
just school
you think
English.
that's incorrect?
I think no, it's like the view that we have to protect women
Yeah.
is something from the history from the history.
I believe Islam
from the last
protects women.
century.
I do believe that from what I've studied of Islam. In fact, when I read the Quran, I actually think it's more biased towards the woman. For instance,
I agree with you on that.
If we were married,
Only they knew, innit? Only they
the
knew.
money I earn
They don't know Muslim married men.
has to
stuff.
go
They don't know.
on the
Only
house,
they knew.
the children, the bills. The money you earn, I can't touch it. It's all yours. You can go and buy handbags. You can go and buy shoes. I could argue, well, hang on a minute. What about me? I want to go and buy some Valentinos. I want to go and buy some. But obviously, it's my role to be the maintainer. It's my role to then look after the family. So for me to argue, well, hang on a minute, I should spend my money recklessly, would be because we're different, aren't we?
Yeah, but do you don't think that's kind of unfair?
No, I think that's good for a family setup. To have the man to go out and be the maintainer, the woman to be the mother, which is a special job. And I believe that. I'm not saying that women can't go and work. I'm not saying those things. But I'm just saying there should be an acceptance that we're very different.
That's the thing. The role of the mother is kind of undermined, like in the Western society.
It is. In Islam, that is such a special. I would say maybe one of the reasons why we don't want women leaders is because the mum is such a special job. I think I can't imagine a mother being that focused on a job if she had children. That's my point.
But Jordan, if you deep it as well, seeing as the mother is the initial teacher in the household, right? If she's doing her job right, she's
raising
the
the
one
next
who's
generation.
right.
The next
So
generation.
whatever
She's raising
leader,
the next leader.
right? So whatever leader comes forward to the forefront
It'll be the
has
mother of
essentially got the nurturing of that woman.
And he'll still be listening to his mum, won't he? As a
Exactly.
leader, he'll still be under his mum's.
So
Right,
it was
it's
the
still
mother
on
who
the right.
birthed the leader of next Khilafah. So
So-
you can look at it from so many different ways.
We can't. Yeah, that's the thing though. But we look at it from one angle.
Yeah.
Even from the point where the Messenger of Allah says that the mother is the most deserving of the companionship. Even though it's a hadith da'if, but the people quote it a lot. Heaven lies under the feet of your mother. Why not the mother and father?
For me, it's not about mother or not mother. I'm not a
just want
mother,
more
so for me, it's about
opportunities.
woman and man, and that's a thing.
Yeah, but
which
you're
is
thinking from your
above
own.
the family
You're thinking
stuff.
from your own singular paradigm, though. And Islam is a community-based thing. It takes into context all these little factors within the community that contribute to each other to make the community a good, thriving, upstanding community. But yeah, like
And it couldn't be this kind of good, upstanding community if women could get at the same positions as men.
Maybe.
it's not about whether they can or it's what are they best placed doing. Where are they most efficient? That's it.
Okay,
It's not in general,
talking
men
about
and women. Men and women. It's like saying, why shouldn't I be able to be a house daddy as well and sit at home and let my wife go out and earn and I take all her money and like.
Yeah, that could be.
Nah, there's no respect. No self-respecting man would even suggest such a thing.
Yeah, but then we have there a different point of view.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
and that's what I'm saying.
I think
Yeah.
that is something about the last century.
It's like-
and nowadays
Okay.
we should have men and women should have the same opportunities
Do you
in
believe in-
family, in
Yeah.
job,
So-
in whatever. So and I know
So
families.
it's like when you hear the noise downstairs at night time
I know
and you're
families
in bed with your
when-
woman
when-
and you tell her go check what's the noise downstairs. I'm saying it's the same, innit? Like if you're in bed with your partner and then you hear a creepy noise downstairs,
If
yeah,
a man came up with that,
and then he nudges you and says equal opportunities. You go and check who it is.
Yeah, okay, then I check
and then a particular leader said, no,
I
an argument then
I can't fight that.
Yeah?
Clearly,
But
that's
this is not something that I'm saying. This is the
I think
architect.
you really
Yeah,
underestimate
the architect said it. It's not.
And
I'm not
no,
the
no,
architect.
no,
I'm
we're
just a
not.
player.
We are
It's just that
measuring
we
the
don't
woman.
abide by modern.
Would you
modern
agree
rules.
that? Would you
I don't wanna
agree
put
that
my woman in the fire
general,
and
Neither would
and
I.
this
Never.
could be
No,
controversial, but
exactly.
would you say in
It's
general
man-
that the
stand in front,
mother
take the
is
benefit.
better at keeping the household, raising the children than the father, and the father is better off going out to work? In general,
Let's-
you wouldn't agree with that.
Let's flip it, Jordan.
See, that's what.
Let's flip it. If the woman, if the army here was purely dominated by women,
Yeah.
right?
All the men were at home.
And all the men were at home. Yeah, no, talk. They were in the factories making all the bullets and
Look
stuff.
around, you're
No,
laughing.
no,
I'm not.
I'm not laughing. This is very serious.
That's
I'm
quite
saying,
funny. That's quite a funny.
It's a very funny way of looking at it.
let's say the women go out and they all die at battle. Who's repopulating that community?
I mean, it was.
Would they not be adverse?
Left some
would they-
women,
would-
like in the.
no, I'm
in the
saying,
history
yeah, of course they're
was
gonna leave
it-
some
was it
women. I'm saying,
with men.
I'm
men
saying-
go to the battlefield. Thousands of men die, and still we are living. So
yeah,
there
because
will
the
still
women
some
were
men
there to
left.
reproduce the children. That's why you don't need many men, but you do need many women. A man, if you left one man with 1 million women, that man could repopulate with those. But if you left, one woman to 1 million, she can only have one baby 9 months at a time. It would. I'm not saying the whole society would be wiped out. I'm saying it would be adversely affected. And you should.
Yeah,
What's
man,
that?
will kill each other.
Yeah, just discussing hypothetically.
I think it's realistic.
I mean,
No, but I'm talking
we are
about.
not in war right now. We are not in war.
No,
right
I'm
in
talking about
Europe,
equal
so-
opportunities. You said equal
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, right, if these equal opportunities, we go ahead and say, yeah, cool, frontline women, you go. And we're going to flip it. We're going to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah?
good.
I'm saying it's going to add.
And I mean, I can
do you know-
just talk from my
do you know
German
what-
perspective,
Yeah.
where
That's
we
like
have a
chaos.
military, and in the military are also fighting women.
Do you know what would happen?
That's
Do
chaos.
you know what would happen?
Yeah.
So it would take one country would say we're taking the progressive step, right? And then there would be all women. And then some country would think these people are donuts. We're going to get all these Marines, these men, and we're going to plow down these women. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Basically, what you're saying is, if you had a society which was governed the way you are, and a society that was governed the way you would eventually lose. Meaning, when we do, go to war. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
maybe we have different perspectives because you're thinking about a government where's war and where's fighting necessary.
No, but
I'm thinking about
but
the government
civilizations always
where's
fight.
peace.
Okay, you're thinking about utopia.
Yeah, civilization.
No, it's not utopia. It's like
No
Germany,
fighting.
Europe.
It's part of-
Germany, what? No
Men
fighting.
fight.
You come from Germany, you talk about no fighting and peace.
Yeah, right nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but do you think it's going to stay like that? You look in the road and you see the climate and you think it's going
I
to be...
will do everything in my life to.
Do you know what? I applaud that. I do. And if I could help you to do that, I would. But I know that the human beings, we're not going to cease to stop fighting until this world is finished. And
Always
that's the nature of man.
nature of man. And that's, I think, why women should become more leader, because the nature of women is not thinking about war, violence, and fighting. The nature
psychologies of women.
Then let the women step forward and take what's rightfully theirs.
So you're almost saying that women should be leaders and men shouldn't, by your logic.
Basically.
So you're kind of...
So this it's a battle of the genders.
So you're not really going for equal rights, you're going sort of the feminist movement where you want more for women.
I want to have equal rights, and that's a principle I want to add, and that's a principle I want to have to agree.
You believe a woman would be a better leader than a man?
That depends on different things. But
so you're not really equal, you're not really looking at equal, are you?
It depends on a person. It depends on a person. I mean, I don't want to, I don't know, I don't...
Look, the sad thing is,
Can I tell you something? You know, for example,
men rarely respect females in places of position, bro. Hillary gets mocked all the time.
Both of us. Who is more likely to defend against him?
Yeah, you're talking about a violent situation.
Okay, just violent.
But any leader will
because
have to
even
face
if you want, you can't defend me because you're biologically
I wouldn't
weaker
defend
than
myself. I would run away and call the police. That's how I would.
And the police will be generally mad.
Let me ask you a question. You're a head of state. You're about to go to war. How would you deal with it?
I don't want to go to war.
But you are.
I would
at that
try
point,
to make
there's someone at your door.
But you said nature of
exploitation of weapons.
I'm sorry if we've gone far off the topic.
I've just been waiting. I wanted to ask you something. They all started because these two guys, they're Muslims, they're passionate about the Sharia, and they said they wanted the Sharia, which is fine. That's what they want. I don't have a problem with that. But one thing that was mentioned was he wanted the Sharia all over the world.
But they're not going to agree with you.
And then we were asking, well, how are you going to achieve that? And then he
point.
conceded that he wasn't a scholar, so he couldn't answer that question. My bit into it has to do more with religion.
We don't, but it's inevitable.
And in Nigeria, we have
you have to go into war.
9 of those states in 2000
I wish everyone would work like that, but there will never be a
yeah, exactly, to the north.
Now,
the tribe that I'm a part of, we have a belief system, which still flourishes in the southwest.
Is it more of an African spiritual kind of
Yeah. So it's Ifa. So they have various festivals. We have Yorubas who are Christians, who are Muslims, atheists, and we have those who stick to the traditional beliefs. And they have their festivals and they can take part. I managed to get my hand on the Sharia penal code for one of the states up north. And you had Zamfara states, and you had Kanu states, and I read it. And it lists the belief system as juju. It then defines it, explains it, that any form of belief which does not renovate or, sorry, not venerate Allah is forbidden. But it doesn't just say forbidden. It says you will be punished. Part of the
from man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
So listen. I know that they will give dispensation to people like one of these like Christians and maybe even the Jews. But I don't think they would do that for people like even the Ashanti, their belief system. That would be cut down. So I'm thinking, if I understand it from Muslim sense, well, that's what our point says.
This is something that I would argue. Like, you kind of got to get past the idea of just in terms of if the Sharia governs over a country, those people who have systems should be given the right to govern themselves as long as they're in their own sort of autonomous area. Right. So, for example, like you said, the Jews and the Christians